So I got no interesting intro planned for you guys today, so I'm just gonna tell you to sit back and relax and enjoy Setup Wars episode 270. You can skip on over to the intro. Otherwise, I'm just gonna waste your time. Honestly, there's nothing interesting that's gonna happen in the next 10-15 seconds. So you might as well just skip over to the intro. I'm serious. I don't even know why you're still here watching this. There's literally nothing going on. You're gonna regret staying here. Literally, you're gonna regret it. I sound like a dying giraffe today. I got sick at EDC last week. I caught a cold. Luckily, it wasn't COVID. I got tested, but that's why my voice is still. You should have seen me like a couple days ago. I sounded like a hippo giving birth to a triplet. It was bad. It was really bad. This is longer than 15 seconds, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It is. I wonder how many of you guys are still watching this. Probably at least 25%, I would say. Oh man, I gotta do more of these. Yeah, definitely. All right, let's start the video. Before we continue, I want to give a huge thanks to Karma for sponsoring today's video, an app and Chrome extension that ensures you never miss a price drop or a coupon code. Well, it's official, guys. I am moving to my new home next month in December, and because of that, I've been on a shopping spree lately, buying a bunch of new things, and I've actually been using Karma because it helps me get the best deals out there while also helping me keep my lists organized. You simply download the Karma extension through the Google Chrome store, and when you visit any of your favorite retail stores, you can add items to your list and tell Karma to notify you via email or mobile push if the item comes back in stock, drops in price, or if there's a coupon code available. You can even organize your shopping by saving items in separate lists. I like to keep all the PC parts I'm looking to buy in a separate list so it's easier to find. Another cool thing about Karma is that it will scan the web for coupon codes and apply them at checkout automatically. However, this feature is only available if you use Karma on your computer, so the Chrome extension is a must. And lastly, Karma also gives cash back to you and a good cause from selected retail partners. So if you guys always want to get the best deals while shopping, or if you want to get notified when an item you add to your list comes back in stock, drops in price, or if there's a coupon code available, then download Karma for free using my link down below. Kicking off the episode is a very clean setup by Brandon, coming all the way from Brisbane, Australia. What is up, my dude? I'm already loving that simplicity and symmetry meshed together with a bit of synthwave colors, and you got yourself a stunning presentation. The setup is built on top of 2 Alex storage units and a single Ledman tabletop, but he did add 2 more Alex units on the sides, which are used as side tables for his sub and PC. Now, normally I would be disappointed if you use the Alex units just as podiums, but you did mention in the notes that you actually keep all the cables hidden inside. Nicely done. We have a single 34-inch Acer monitor that has a skinned bezel for consistency, and underneath that we got the Razer Huntsman Mini and Viper Ultimate, both in Mercury White, looking good. I don't even know how he passed through the cable from the keyboard and mouse pad. That looks so clean, it could very well be Photoshop. Like, seriously, how did you do it? For audio, he's using the IKEA NAB speaker system, which funny enough, I haven't seen before. Even though these came out back in 2018, this is the first time I'm actually seeing them in a setup. My first impressions of the speakers are, it looks like a unique piece of tech. Very sleek with a minimal design. I can definitely see why he chose these for the setup. They fit right in. I do love the additional tube lights next to the speakers, which add a bit of contrast lighting, and the RGB sphere thingamabobbers on the ceiling. I'm getting these relaxing and chill vibes from this room. I almost feel like I'm in Japan, especially with those cherry blossom trees. I do have to say that Brandon sure knows how to decorate a place. Powering the setup is an all-white custom PC inside the Lean Lee Dynamic O11. He went with some beefy components that also complement the setup's color scheme nicely. We got the 10900K that's overclocked to 5 GHz, 32 gigs of the gorgeous Trident Royales from G.Skill, and the Gigabyte Vision RTX 3070. I'm already moist. Such an incredible setup you built here. Thank you, Brandon, for starting off the show. Up next is a very cool teen setup by Leonardo coming from Austria. It took him a total of 1 year to get the setup to this point for the purpose of schoolwork, gaming, and anime, if it isn't already obvious from the wallpapers and the canvases on the wall. Leo actually built a corner desk out of a Linman and a Mickey. The main setup is on a Linman tabletop, and the Mickey is for studying, which is what a studying area should look like. No distractions except for a beautiful view up top. We got a dual T-monitor setup with 24-inch Samsungs, one in vertical mode for multitasking and browsing the web, and the other for gaming. Underneath all that, we got the Razer Ornata Chroma and a Death Adder Elite with an Xbox controller. Now, if you want to keep the surface of the desk a little cleaner, you can store those remotes inside a tiny pencil drawer that attaches to the bottom of your desk. The setup doesn't use any speakers, but we do have a pair of Razer Nari Essentials that he keeps underneath the desk next to some nice cable management. The PC powering the setup is a pretty sweet blacked out custom build featuring the 7700K and a GTX 1060, but I'm surprised to see that you don't have any exhaust fans. You know, it would be a good idea to add 2 or 3 more to neutralize the air pressure inside the case. But overall, a really nice build to complement a nice setup. Thank you, Leo, for sharing this with us. Coming up next is Sean from Lower Saxony, Germany, and his compact triple monitor setup. Fun fact, Sean used to be a PS4 gamer only back in 2018, but after watching Setup Wars for a year straight, he decided to build a PC and a setup. So over the next few years, he started upgrading his gear slowly until he was happy enough to send a submission. And well, here we are in 2021. The setup was built for gaming, video editing, and schoolwork, and to accomplish all of that with ease, he went with triple 27-inch monitors that somehow fit the width of the desk perfectly. It's actually almost satisfying how close it is to the edges. Moving on to peripherals, we got an Aki keyboard and a Rocat Kova mouse with an RGB extended mouse pad. Now, I do think it was a bit clever putting your speakers in the wall shelves up top, but you left the cables hanging down from it. And while we're on that topic, I do want to jump in a little bit and give you some advice on how you can improve the look of your setup. Normally, I wouldn't showcase something like this because it doesn't look complete, but I'll make an exception this time considering how much you want to be on the show. And maybe this can help some people watching too. Okay, so first and foremost, I do love the approach you took by mounting the PC on the shelf right above the setup. Most people don't do that when they run out of space on the desk, so it's nice to see that you did. But the RGB lighting, man, you gotta chill with the RGB strips. You know, we all love RGB, but there is a right way of doing it. Running a single 36-foot RGB strip from your setup through your PC and into the skateboard is not the right way. Slapping RGB to something doesn't make it look nicer. There is a method to it. I would first start off by removing all the strips from your setup and go with individual strips with specific lengths. That way you can split up the lighting in certain areas of the setup, plus it will look much nicer because you don't have the strips crawling all over the place. These Govee strips are the ones I recommend for the price. The diodes are extremely bright and you can control the lights using an app on your phone. I'll drop a link to it below. I would also take off the acoustic panels and remount them without any strips underneath so that they sit flush against the wall. If you really want to add accent lighting to the wall, don't use RGB strips because you can see the hot spots. You can go with stuff like the Govee glide bars, which are perfectly diffused, and there are even cheaper versions of the nanoleaf panels now available on Amazon. This leads me to the cable management. There are a lot of cables left unattended, and as much as I like to go over every single wire, my veterans watching this video will fall asleep. So I would recommend watching my cable management video, which I'll link below. One thing I do want to say, however, is that you can also drill a small hole in the back corner of the wall shelves so you can pass through the speaker cables against the wall. You do have a bunch of cables running against the wall, so I do recommend using some wall raceways to cover them up. But yeah, overall there is so much potential here. You really have a nice foundation to build an epic setup. If you do end up making the changes, feel free to submit again. By the way, this kind of gave me an idea. I want to know if you guys are interested, so let me know in the comment section. So moving forward, every single episode of Setup Wars, I'll include one mediocre or decent setup that can use a lot of work to improve. So 4 normal or epic setups, and then 1 not so epic. So this is basically where I'll dive in and kind of give my recommendations and tips to improve. Is that something you guys would be interested in? If not, let me know in the comment section below. Shifting gears a bit, we are moving on to Victor's beautiful triple monitor Deadpool themed setup. Man, just look at the alignment of all 3 monitors. Tell me that isn't beautiful. So Victor is a manager for a construction company from New Jersey that built a setup just for gaming. We had a custom desk built out of a few Alex units and a 115-inch countertop that was made by Victor himself. That is one long countertop. Damn, Above that, he's got triple Quad HD monitors mounted beautifully against the wall. Below that, we got the Corsair K100 Platinum with a couple of mice, the Naga Epic Chroma for MMO titles, and the Harpoon RGB wireless for everything else. Sadly, audio always seems to be an issue with triple monitor setups, and it makes sense obviously. There just isn't enough space left on the desk for them, so people have to come up with creative places for them. In Victor's case, he just kept them in the back, but unfortunately they are being blocked off by the monitors. You could always just bring them a bit forward and have them hugging the side of the monitor, to be honest. You do have the extra space for it. Aside from the speakers, he does own a pair of Corsair Void Elites that he keeps on the ST100 stand, but other than that, we do have his custom PC on the opposite side. I do love the consistency of the color scheme, by the way, and it's refreshing to see some orange too. We got the Ryzen 7 3800X in here paired with the EVGA RTX 3070. Such a beautiful PC to complement an even more beautiful setup. Thank you, Victor, for sharing this with us. Wrapping up the episode is Zack from Minnesota and his sweet triple display setup that he built for gaming. The main setup is built on the IKEA Beckjam desk, and then we have two additional Alex units on the sides that doubles as storage and side tables. So naturally, my first question has to do with the position of the PC, right? Like, I get why you put it backwards so you can still see inside of it, but if that's the case, why not place it on the right Alex unit so it's facing the right way? And also the cables won't be visible. There has to be a reason why it's on the left side, right? As far as the displays go, we do have a 27-inch Acer with a higher refresh rate as the main monitor and a smaller 24-inch on the side as a secondary with a 40-inch Vizio TV up top as an overhead. The way that Zack placed his speakers should be a great example of what you can also do if you don't have the space to keep them upright. I love that he also picked up a stand to tilt them upwards. Aside from the speaker, he also owns a pair of Astro A40s for gaming and an MXL microphone that's connected to his audio interface underneath the riser. Even though the monitors are hooked up to the wall, I do like the addition of the monitor riser as it adds a bit of function to the setup. It's a great place to hide his audio interface while also using it as a tunnel to channel through the cables from the keyboard and mouse. And finally, let's take a closer look at the PC that's powering it all. We have a sweet custom rig featuring the 9700KF and the MSI GTX 1080. By the way, just to let you know that NZXT did come out with their white AIO, which I think will look really clean in your build. But other than that, it's a pretty sweet triple display setup. Thank you, Zack, for sharing this with us. As always, if you guys want to get the best deals while shopping and have Karma notify you when an item drops in price or comes back in stock, then click the link below to download and install Karma for free. And that will do it for today's video. As always, make sure you guys comment below. Let me know which of these setups was your absolute favorite and maybe let me know why. As always, if you're enjoying the new Setup Wars season, make sure to toss a like to let me know before you head out, and consider subscribing because I do host Setup Wars every single Monday. I love you beautiful cheeks. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.